Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk about Causticum. It is one of the homeopathic remedy which belongs to the mineral kingdom. If you are not known about any other homeopathic medicines, or you are new to the homeopathy, or you really want to know about homeopathy, or you are really kind of confused about homeopathic system or homeopathic treatment, or you are really kind of willing to go into the detail knowing of homeopathy, you can just kind of know through the videos which I post, because myself, Dr. Megha from homeopathic clinic, I'm practicing homeopathy from 5 years, and I've been so blessed because I'm into homeopathy. First, when I took the homeopathy system, of course I was not aware about this system. I was so confused, what is this, what is that, and everything. But I was really kind of in a question also, that will I be able to really go forward with this system. But everything was cleared when I came out for the practice, because things will be hard at first, but when we face it, of course everything is wonderful. Everything happened for a reason, so I also became an doctor for a reason. So I have been really kind of interested in teaching the homeopathic system, and myself had done MD in Metromedica, so I really like to teach the students about the medicines. So I thought, why not in a YouTube channel? So I just opened my personal YouTube channel, which will be saying much more about homeopathy medicines, and some medicines which are really helpful in the treatment of diseases, and some cases which are really kind of very hard to be um, treated. I'll be showing that the patients of mine who really give their consent to publish in my YouTube channel. So it is a new YouTube channel, but seriously I'm trying my best to eye up. So I request everyone to just cope up with me to know much more about this YouTube channel, because I know that I am not doing the very good videos, but I'm trying my best. Of course, in the future it will be better and better. Every day is a good learning for me from the YouTube, so I think I'll be able to cope up with that. Okay, moving on to the today's medicine which we will be talking about is Causticum. Causticum was proven by Dr. Hahnemann, who is a father of homeopathy. Only few medicines was proven by him, because in his later years he just started the practice of homeopathy, because there was so much of backlogs, or there was so much of means some people used to not like the system to come forward, and they used to always trouble him out, and they also said, you should be not practicing this, you should not do that, this and everything. Because of all that problem, he was only able to prove little bit of medicines. So this was one of his provings. So we are really grateful for Dr. Ayman for giving us such a wonderful system, because it's very safe and it does not have any kind of side effects. It's really good for healthy people and even the diseased people, because I'd seen wonders and wonders in homeopathy without even making the patient go through any pain or any kind of uncomfortness. So if you want comfortness treatment, just choose homeopathy. Homeopathy is now available in every cities, every country, every state, everywhere. So just go for it. Moving on to the Causticum. The common name is potassium nitrate, and it comes from a mineral kingdom, and it is a deep acting remedy, just like sorinum and sulfur. Causticum can be really thought when there is a standstill in the progression of the disease. I'll be explaining it later. Moving on to the Causticum keynotes. Right-sided remedy paralysis, arthritis, aggravation from the dry cold weather, ambulation in the damp wet weather, or warm air. What is the complaint of causticum? Gradual complaint means come on slowly. There is gradual paralysis following the initial stage of excessive hypersensitive and overreactive. Local paralysis, vocal cords, eyelids, tongue, face, muscles, and bladder extremities. Paralysis of single part or single nerve, especially due to exposure to dry cold weather. Wind. Paralytic weakness of muscle from being overstrained and being chilled. That is, it is also seen in rest dogs. Dropping of eyelids, you can think of causticum. Dropping of both eyelids, you can think of sepia. Suppuration of skin symptoms and progress into disease of nervous system or directly into the mental or emotional states. Sympathetic person. The patient has extreme sympathy for others and has a strong sense of social justice, intolerance of any kind of authority, melancholic mood, sensation of rawness and soreness of mucous membrane, burning is also present. Since in Anika montana, sensation as if sore and bruised in the muscle, but in causticum there is only burning is present. Moving on to the rest dogs, aching soreness as if sprained up in muscle, tendons, and even the tissues. And you can go for obstinate neuralgias in the muscles and in the nerves, and stammering due to the imperfect nerve control of the tongue. Contractions of the ligaments and the tendon, arthritis and rheumatic pains aggravated in the dry cold weather, ameliorated in the warm wet weather. And hollow deep dry cough of great force, which thus causes involuntary urination with the cough. This is one of those peculiar symptoms, because in the dry cough we have so much of remedies, but when it comes to the hollow, deep, dry cough with passage of urine, just think of causticum. No other remedy can cure it. Just go for it. It will be treated. Just 30 only had given and it is been cured, because incontinence of urine you can give the causticum, but with this cough symptoms it acts wonders, because both will be cured. Cough with the pain in the hips, patient tries to cough deep to get up, and mucus is in the trachea, but the mucus slips down. Aggravation, cold, dry hair, passes stools better while standing. Warts on the skin, especially on the nose, with moist eruption. Warts bleed easily. Tuja, warts on the genital area, dull camera, eruptions before menses. Conium, warts on the face, nitric acid. Warts bleed easily. Menstrual problems. If you go for menstrual problems, there is bending down type of pain. Menses ceases entirely at the night. What is the mind of causticum? Extremely sensitive. People who are easily excitable, quick to react. They observe all impressions from the environment and respond with hyperactivity and overreaction. Strong sense of social justice. Intolerance of any kind of authority. These people are easily and deeply hurt because of injustice and opposition. Can be found almost in every circumstance of life. This excessive sensitivity affects the functions governing the CNS. Resulting pathology gradually affects the mental, physical, and emotional plane. With time, the patient finds himself with diminished nervous system, reflex, hardened and shortened tendons, and general state of inflexibility. An intelligent analyst at one time the person starts falling that he is slowly losing his mental power. Moving on to the vertigo. Weakened cerebral circulation. Patient is a great subject to vertigo, which is also kind of early signs of paralysis. There is a tendency to fall neither forward or sideways. Feeling of empty space between the brain and the bones. Paralysis. Gradual paralysis following an initial state of hyperactivity and overactivity also. Paralysis of a single part of on a single nerve. Facial paralysis, paralysis of esophagus, uncontrolled dropping of eyelids, stammering from dysfunction of tongue, bladders, sphincter muscles, worst on exposure to cold winds. Suppression of skin eruption progresses directly into the nerve system. Remedy for locomotor paralysis and multiple sclerosis also. Tongue. Weakened nerve power causes stammering and post diphtheric paralysis also seen. Foot goes down the wrong way. What is the difference? In aconite, paralysis aggravated by dry cold winds, but in restox also damp and cold atmosphere and overstraining. Dry cold winds, causticum suits well in chronic states and has a gradual onset. But in aconite suits well in the beginning and has a sudden onset. Moving on to the epilepsy. Right-sided body is being affected, caused by suppression of skin eruption and involuntary urination during unconscious state, jerking of single part like one side of the face, yellowishness of face with paralysis of rheumatic or psychotic origin, exposure to dry cold air, it's really aggravation, stiffness of jaws also of rheumatic origin, gradual paralysis causing dropping of eyelids. Air seems to be full of black insects. Dropping of eyelids, only one eyelid means you can think of causticum. If it is two eyelids, then think of sepia. Excellent for cataract. Ear, tinnitus. There is a buzzing or roaring in the ears when sounds really re-echo when they are speaking. At that time you can think of. And you can also think of when there is much more ear wags and there is also offensive odor from that time. Moving on to the respiratory symptoms. Throat hoarseness in the evening, sudden loss of voice from paralysis of vocal cords, rawness, soreness and burning in the thorax from cold air, cough, weakness and paralytic tendency exhibits itself while coughing also. Patient is unable to expurgate. Person exceeds in rising the sputum so far when it splits back into the throat. The patient cannot cough deep enough for relief. Drinking cold water relieves cough. Hollow deep cough of great force that causes involuntary loss of urine and pain in the hip. This is also due to the weakness of the sphincters due to the paralysis of nerve supply to the bladder. Hay fever causes cold dry winds, itching inside and outside wings of the nose, sneezing upon waking in the morning, and guttural drops from the posterior nose, obstructions of nose while lying down, especially at the night. And what are the GIT symptoms? Appetite. The patient sits down on the table hungry, but the smell or the sight of the food takes away the appetite. You can also think of sepia in this one, and arsenic also. And moving on to the thirst for cold drinks and with aversion to water. Stomach. Sensation of lime being burned in stomach while rising of hair. Desire salt, smoked meat. Aversion sweets. Rectum. Stools. Paralytic weakness. Rectum is inactive and fills up with hard stools while passes involuntary passage. You can think of causticum and any kind of spasmodic of muscle inactivity of the one part. Only one part will be affected, even the eyes, lids, even the face, anything, it's only one part. Moving on to the stomach. Sensation of stomach was over. Rectum. Paralytic weakness. Rectum is inactive and fills up with the okay, it was also done. Constipation. Great deal of urging from defective expulsion force in the rectal muscles with redness of the face and fullness of the blood vessels. Stool passes with less straining when the person is standing. Hemorrhoids. Swollen, itching, raw and sore. Aggravation in the walking. Fissures form on least provocation. Inner fissures, itch and smart. GIT, GUT, gastrourinary tract. Bladder. Two kinds of paralysis of bladder affecting muscles of expulsion. Urine is retained, affecting sphincter. Urine is passed involuntarily. Patient is unconscious of the stream as it is passed. Urine escapes involuntarily when coughing due to the paralysis weakness of muscles of bladder. Paralytic weakness of muscle, overstraining and being chilled. Nocturnal enuresis, especially in children during first sleep in winters. Urine is liable to pass during the day in winters as a result of any excitement. Female symptoms. Menses time too early, character to profuse, duration only during the daytime, ceases on lying down. Menstrual colic, and there is cutting type of pain on bending double. Arthritis, right-sided affections, rheumatism of joints when they get stiff and tendons become shortened, drawing them out of shape. Rheumatism of right deltoid, contracts of muscles and flexor tendons. Aggravation in clear fine weather. Amelioration in damp wet weather. Arthritis, pains and contraction of tendons and muscles force the extremities out of shape. Skin, warts, especially on wings of the nose, also on face, ears and neck. Large, jagged upon, often pedunculated warts exuding moistures and bleeding easily. Itching, especially on the wings of the nose. Warts bleed easily. Fissures and rawness and soreness if affected parts, especially mucous membrane. What are the general modalities? Aggravation, clear fine weather, cold hair. Amelioration, damp wet weather, warm hair. Moving on to the comparison in arthritis. Phytolica, Ledampal, Abrotinum, Causticum. In Phytolica, it is right-sided. In Ledampal, rheumatism and gout, both acute and chronic. Abrotinum, rheumatism caused by diarrhea. Causticum, right side. Moving on to the paralysis of Gelsemium and Causticum. Gelsemium gradually paralysis, Causticum gradually paralysis of single part of nerve. And you can think of Gelsemium and Causticum and you can differentiate on that one. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe and don't forget to press on the bell icon so that whenever I put a new video you will be notified. Have a wonderful life.